Hi there, and welcome. My name is Aaron Martinez. I am Autodesk approved instructor, and I am also a certified Adobe Creative Educator Level 2. And in just 1 hour and 30 minutes, you are going to go from a complete, absolute beginner to modeling, shading, lighting, and rendering your very first 3D asset in Autodesk Maya. So you heard it. We will use Maya for this webinar. So now, I know looking at the Maya interface for the first time, it can feel like you're staring at the, you know, cockpit of a commercial airplane. So yeah, no, there are hundreds of buttons, drop downs, and complex menus. But here's my promise to you. We are completely ignoring 90% of those buttons today, but we are focusing strictly on the critical 10%, the absolute fundamentals that professional 3D artists use every single day. So, what will be our outline for this webinar? Okay, so first is we will introduce the UI and navigation. So that will be the first segment. And after we learn it, we will focus on the primitives and transformations. Okay, and for the third segment is we will learn the component mode and modeling tools. And of course, now we will learn the intro to materials and the shading. And the last is we will learn the lighting and directing the scene. Okay, so if you want to create a new project for your scene, so you can navigate your cursor here in new scene, or you can also click this. So new, and here we go. So right now you are looking at the 3D viewport. So this is what we call 3D viewport. Let's think of this as your like director's lens into a virtual world. So unlike a flat two-dimension canvas, we have sense of depth here. And look at the center of your screen. Okay, as you can see, this grid represents our ground plane. And down in the bottom left corner, as you can see, you will see a letter 3 colored arrow guide. So this is what we call axis gizmo. And it represents the three dimension of space. So the red is the x-axis. So this represents left and right. Okay. For the red, so we have y-axis. So this represents up and down. So like you're climbing a ladder. And the last is the color blue. So which is the z-axis. This represents forward and backward. Okay. So an easy way to remember this is the acronym RGB. So the RGB is corresponds to X, Y, and Z. So red is X, green is Y, and of course blue is Z. Okay, so right now, we are looking at this world through what we call the perspective view. Okay, so meaning objects farther away will look smaller, just like in real life. Keep your eyes on that grid as we learn how to actually move our eyes through this space. Okay? So, camera navigation. So, you can see I can, orbit. I can zoom in, zoom out, and zoom in. I can pan. So, let's talk about the controls. To move your camera in Maya, your non-dominant hand is going to leave on the Alt, okay? Alt key. Or if you are using Mac, so just click the option, okay? So every single camera movement requires holding down Alt, A-L-T in your keyboard, Alt. Okay, so let's break down the three essential movements. So yeah, no, go ahead and try this with me. So first one is the orbit. So Alt plus left mouse button. Okay. So you need to hold the Alt as well as the left button. So notice how we are spinning around the center of the viewport. So this lets you inspect your models from every single angles. Okay? So that's number one. So how about number two? We have the pan. Okay? So the shortcut is Alt plus middle mouse button. You can you can locate that in your scroll wheel, the middle mouse button. So I will hold Alt as well as the middle mouse button. Okay, press down on your middle mouse scroll wheel like a button, then drag. So what will happen? This slides your camera up, up, down, left or right without rotating. No, it's like shifting your head from side to side. Okay, so number one, the orbit, Alt and left mouse button, then drag. The second one is the pan, Alt and then middle mouse button. So the zoom, no? You can use scroll wheel. So if you move forward your scroll wheel, it will zoom in, and if you backward your scroll wheel, it will zoom out. Okay, so here's my tip. If you ever get lost in the dark or wander too far away from your object, just select the object in your menu. And for example, I have here a cube and you lost it somewhere. Okay, just press the letter F in your keyboard. Okay, and it will instantly snap your camera right back to your selection. Okay, so for the dashboard or let's say the layout, Maya can look incredibly intimidating when you first open it. So why? Because there are buttons everywhere. Uh, don't worry about 90% of them today. Just let's focus on the four most important areas of your dashboard. Uh, so like I said, we have four. Okay. Number one is the center stage. So this will be the viewport. Uh, we already know this one. So this is where your actual 3D modeling and animation happen. And the left column. So this is what we call the toolbar. Okay. So look over to the far left edge of your screen. Okay. This vertical strip houses your selections tool, and your transformation tool. So later on, we will discuss that. We have the move, we have the rotate, we have the scale. If you want to interact with an object, this is where you grab your tools. Okay, so moving on, we have the right column. So as you can see, we have channel box, attribute editor, modeling toolkit. So let's talk about the channel box. Okay, so look all the way over the right or to the right. This panel display the mathematical DNA of whatever you have selected. So for example, I select my cube. It tells you its exact x, y, and z position, its rotation angles, and also the size. If you want perfect precision, you type numbers in here. And yeah, the left panel, we have the outliner. So if you are using like image manipulation software, we can call this as layer, but in the term of the Autodesk Maya, it called as the outliner. If it's not open, just go to uh, Windows, okay? Windows and look for the outliner, and it will be visible. Yeah, no, think of the outliner as the table of contents or the layer list of your scene. Every camera, light, cube, or character you create will appear here as a text list. For example, I have cube and it names as PCube1 or stands for Polycube1. And if I place another polygon, for example, cylinder, it adds this object to the outliner wherein the name will be P cylinder 1. So you can rename this, just double click, and here you go, you can rename this uh, based on your proper naming convention. Okay, so let me just delete. Okay, so to sum up, we have channel box layer editor. That will be the DNA wherein you can see the value of the transformation, the move value, the rotate value, the scale value. And if you go here into left panel, or what we call the outliner, so you can see the table of contents or the layer, every objects that you place here in your viewport. Okay, for the project settings, before we wrap up this intro, so we need to talk about Maya's golden rule of file management. Maya doesn't just save a single file. It expect a whole family of folder for texture, scenes, and renders. If you don't set this up, Maya will lose your files later. So let's set up a project folder in just a like 1 minute, or I think less than 1 minute. First is go to the very top menu and click the file. Then go all the way down to the project window. Okay. And you see, click the new new button in the top right of that pop-up. Okay. So give your uh, project a clear name. Like for example, my underscore first underscore Maya project. Okay, and choose where you want to save it by clicking the folder icon next to location. So in my case, uh, it is saved on the OneDrive, but I want to change the location here into, let's say, desktop, and select. Okay, and after that, click the accept, and let's see. So this folder contains the essentials or necessary files that we need in order for us to, you know, to save our project here in Autodesk Maya. Okay, it's challenge time. So I want you to place a random polymodeling shapes or 3D shapes here in the shelf. Okay, for example, I want to place a cube as well as the cylinder. Okay, and then just practice the, you know, the practice of orbiting. Okay, the practicing of panning and zooming. Okay, so until you master the Maya navigation. So that's the first challenge. Okay, so now we will proceed to the next segment. So which is playing with the shapes or the concepts of primitives and transformations. Okay, so as you can see, I have here different object. So we have like cylinder, sphere, cone, cube. So how I place it here? How I how we will gonna rotate this particular object? How we can actually rescale this cube? So we have what we call the universal Maya hotkey. So let me just delete all of the objects here. Okay, so now we have the QWERTY system. Okay, so for us to memorize the universal Maya hotkeys, just remember the QWERTY system. So W stands for move, letter E is for rotate, R is for scale, and Q for select. But you can actually disregard this one, this select. Okay, so for example, how we can actually place an object here, just navigate your cursor, okay, into polymodeling shelf, and then just click any object that you want to place. For example, I want to place a polygon cube, and yeah, it summons in our viewport. Now, let's apply the transformations or geometric transformation that we discussed a while ago. Okay, so for example, once you click the object, you can press W to move the cube into particular position. Okay, just like this. So let me repeat, W is for move. If you want to enlarge this cube, so you need to press the R to rescale it. If you want to rotate, just press letter E, and you can see the imaginary sphere, or what we call the rotational snap. So just click and drag the particular axis here. Okay, so let me repeat the procedure. For example, let's try this polygon cylinder. How we can actually move this? Press W. Okay, you can see different arrows. So just uh you know just click and drag, depends on the particular, or it depends on your desired position. Okay, for the scale or for the resize, so click R, and then you can click and drag the middle cube so that you can resize it proportionally. Okay, and for the rotation, so letter E, you can see the rotational snap, and that's it. So for the challenge, so just place your desired object or desired objects here in our viewport, and then apply the transformation that you learn. For example, I place cube, and then I will move it in my desired position. I will place here cylinder. I will randomly rotate this. Okay, I will place a cone, sphere, and I applied resize or scale tool. Okay, so if you already perform this, so nice job, no? So for the next topic is we will talk about the selection here in Maya. So for example, okay, if we are here in object mode, we can transform the whole object. So what if I want to manipulate particular part of this object? For example, the corner of this one, this is the only part that I want to adjust. It can be possible, yes, by using the component mode, or what we call the selection. So we can do that by holding the uh, right right click of your mouse. Okay, hold the right click, don't release it yet. So move, like for example, we have here vertices, we have here edge, we have here face. Okay, and we have the object mode. Yes, that's the big four: the edge selection, the vertex selection, the face, and the object mode. Now, for example, okay, I want to turn this into vertex mode. So I need to hold the right click and then go here into vertex. As you can see, there's so many dots. So this is the nodes. This is what we call the nodes. Now, if we highlight these nodes, or highlight this particular node, and then if you press the move tool, which is W, okay, so you can really adjust the particular part or specific part of the object. Okay, so that's the purpose of the vertex. So let's try. How about the edge selection? So once again, hold, right click, don't release it yet. Okay, go into edge selection. This time, from the word itself, you can manipulate the particular part of the object by its edge. Okay? So, how about the face? So, as you can see, this wide area highlighted on the screen, this is what we call the face. So, you can actually manipulate this. Okay, you can move, you can rotate, and you can actually scale it down. So that's the purpose of component tool, or what we call the selections. So how we can go back into, like, for example, uh, the whole object will apply the transformation that we discussed. Just, okay, hold right click again and switch it to object mode. Okay? So once again, to transform or to move, press W. To rotate, press letter E. To scale, so R. Okay? And if you want to modify the particular part of your object, use the component tool or selection. So hold the right click, don't release it yet, switch to any selection that you want. Vertex, you see we have different nodes. Okay, if you want to switch it into edge selection, so hold right click, switch to edge. Okay, what if you want to switch into face selection? Right click and face. So that is what we call the component mode. Okay, so now once you learn the concepts of the axis, the X, Y, and Z, once you learn how to move, how to rotate, how to scale your object, and once you learned how to switch the view into edge selection, vertex, face, you can really create your very first object or 3D object. So let me show you how. Okay, for example, we will create a very simple table. So what we need to do is I will place here a polygon cube. Okay, I will rescale it. I will make it flat, just like this. Okay, I will elevate it using move tool that we discussed a while ago. So it's up to you on what will be your table looks like. Okay, so now what I will gonna do here is I will right click it and switch to edge selection. Okay, I will highlight it vertically. While I am highlighting it vertically, I will go here into modeling toolkit. Okay, and you see we have here tools. Just look for the connect. So what's the purpose of this? You can subdivide the particular object. So for example, the default value is 1, so therefore it divides into two panel. Just think of it, no? For example, I want it to have a like 15 segments. Okay, I will press enter here in our viewport uh to have an effect. Okay, so just press enter. Now, what's the next thing that I will do is I will highlight it horizontally. And then I will go again into the connect, and let's say I will decrease the segments into 12 or to make it square. Okay, so for you or for the segments to take effect, just go here into viewport and then press enter. Okay, and then I will move it up. Sorry. I will go here into object mode. I will move it up. And we learn the face selection. Okay, hold right click, go here into face, and select the particular areas. So this will be our fit. Okay, so we have here what we call the extrude. So what is extrude? Okay, extrude is pulling new geometry out of existing faces. We will pull this, but in what? New geometry. So, just hold shift. Okay, I will hold shift, and then while in your move tool, you can see the word extrude. Okay, so just drag it down, and here you go. It creates another geometry out of the existing faces. So let me repeat the procedure that I performed earlier. Okay, I place here a cube. I enlarge it. I flatten it. I use the scale tool for this one. I will use move. Okay, and then uh, what we need to do is hold right click. Okay, go here into edge, and then highlight it vertically. And moving on here into modeling toolkit, you can see the connect. Just click that. Okay, the default value is 1. You need to you need to uh set the specific value that you want, for example 15. Okay, so just navigate your cursor or move your cursor here in our viewport, then press enter. Okay, go again into edge selection, move or drag horizontally, and then click connect, and just make it like square one. Move your cursor in here into viewport, press enter. Okay, and by the power of face selection, you can highlight these 2 or more. So just hold shift and then click any faces that you want, because if you don't hold the shift, you can click only one faces. But if you hold the shift while you are selecting faces, so you can select like two or more faces. Okay, for the extrude, so hold shift, navigate your cursor here into your arrow, and then click and drag it down. So this will be your very first 3D model. Okay, so now, how we can change its base color? Because you see, it is color gray. So here's the thing. First step is just click the actual object, hold right click, go it down, look for the assign new material, and then find the new material. Release it. Okay. So you see we have different surface. If you want your object to turn like glossy type, you can see the spear. So you can choose Pong E or Fong Blin. But if you want to have a touch of matte, just go here into Lambert. Okay. And here we have common material attributes. Just click the color and yeah, you can choose the desired color that you want because we have here color wheel or color palette, and yeah, we can change the particular color of your object. So that's how you can change that. So once again, sorry, how we can actually change the particular color. Just click the object, okay, hold right click, go into assign new material, find the new material, and go here into Lambert or any surface that you want. For example, let's try this Fong E. Okay, we have common material attributes. Just click the color and here you can choose different uh, colors that you want. Okay, so now how we can actually add lights, because if we if we use or if we enable the light activation, it turns like this, so silhouette. So because if we render this, it turns out to be black because there's an absence of light. Okay, first let me just create a plane here. Okay, just like this. I want to change the color. Okay, so now if I activate the light mode, it turns out to be black because there's an absence of light. How we can how we can actually place a light here? Just navigate your cursor here into create. Okay, find the lights and you can see the different kinds of light: ambient, the reflection, directional light, so it simulates the sunlight, point light, so we have here in our room, so that's the light bulb. Okay, so I know you're familiar with the spotlight. Okay, so for example, point light, I place it here. So the default location is here in the lower. So just move it up, and here you go. You have here different. Okay, we have place a light. So you can actually change the particular attributes. For example, color. So just click it. Okay, and then you can create or place different lights that you want. So just go back again into uh, create lights, point light, and same procedure. Okay, you can actually change the color as well as the intensity. So the more the value of intensity is higher, the more the light will be brighter, just like this. Okay, so that's how we can actually place a light. So yeah, you can actually disable the light if you want to create another model, because it is not necessary in modeling procedure. So if you want to create another model, you can turn off this light. Okay? Now, you can actually duplicate this particular object. Yes, so how? Just hold shift. Okay? Once you see the word clone, just click and drag, and it duplicates the selected object. So amazing, right? We have now a two tables here. So once again, how we can actually do that? Select the particular object, hold shift. Once you see the clone, okay, just click and drag. To turn on the light, navigate your cursor into bulb icon, and that's it. Okay, so for the last segment of our topic for this, so we will create a 3D model of coffee mug. So this will serves as your foundation if you want to push, or if you want to be a 3D artist someday. Yeah, because 1 hour and 30 minutes is not enough to master all of the technicalities, procedures, tools here in 3D modeling, especially Autodesk Maya. But yeah, I am pretty sure that this lesson will help you for you to become a uh, 3D artist someday. So let's begin. For this object, we will use cylinder. Okay. Uh, I will resize it. Again, it depends on you uh, on the size. But let me just add a ground. Okay. So now I want this top to make it uh you know, to erase all of the edges because we have things to do here later on. So I will go here into attribute editor, polycylinder 1, and then here in subdivision caps, so just turn this into 0. Okay, like this. Okay, now I need to, okay, highlight this edge uh horizontally, and then go here into modeling toolkit, click the connect, and enter. So what's the purpose of this? Uh, you can modify the shape if you want to turn this into like somehow realistic. Okay, so like for example, if you want to change you know the size of the particular part, so just double click the edge and then resize it. You see, if we perform this, the double click, it highlights the edge loop. So that's very convenient and very, very fast method. Unlike that, if we click this one by one, so it consumes a time. Okay. So like for example, here in face, I want this to shrink. It's like this. And once again, no, it depends on you on what will be the shape of your coffee mug. Okay, so I have we have a base for this. So what we need to do is I will go here into face. I will delete. Okay, as you can see, it turns to be hollow. Okay, the next part is we need to have a sense of thickness here. So what we will gonna do here, okay, uh turn this into object mode, okay, and look for my cursor. I will navigate it here into extrude. So click, you see properties appear. So just adjust the thickness. Okay, just adjust the thickness for this one. Okay, so the missing part is, I know you think the missing part will be the handle. So what we will gonna do here is, okay, I will go here into object mode, and then I will go here into modeling toolkit, and then I will click the smooth. Okay, so this is what it looks like. You see this very rounded. Okay, so let's undo. So the reason why the bottom part is very rounded, because we need to have a inset faces here. Okay, so I will go here again into extrude. In the offset setting, so I will adjust its value. Okay, and let's see, in the object mode, I will click the smooth, and yeah, I think this is okay. Okay, so now for the handle, I will go here into panel layout. You can go in front view. You can go here into side view. So the purpose of this panel layout is this like CCTV. You can see the top view, you can see the front, you can see the side view or the perspective. So this is very important because what you do here is you can check if some part is modified. So that's the purpose of this one. So now I press the backspace or sorry no the space bar to turn or to zoom in the particular view. So basically this is already locked. Now I will go here into face selection. I will highlight okay the center faces like this. Okay. Now while holding the shift I will hold right click. There's so many words that you can see, but just click this circularize component. Okay, so you see it turns to be circularized. Now next thing that we need to do, just maintain the faces highlighted because we will go here into extrude again, and for the offset, okay, we will change its value. Sample this one. I will delete using delete button. So what's the purpose of this one? Okay, let's see. Okay, the purpose of this one, we will highlight these circularized faces. So how I do that? Just click and press shift and then double click while you're holding the shift. Okay, just perform the same procedure. Okay, so the purpose of this is once we highlighted these two circularized faces, we need to combine this. So how? I am here into perspective view. I will go here into edit mesh. So navigate your cursor into edit mesh and find the bridge, okay, and go here into square symbol or icon because the meaning of that is we can change the properties if we click this square. So just click that, okay. By default this is set looking at the bridge type, it is set in linear path. So you need to change it into smooth path plus curve, and then the direction will be custom. Okay. And for the division, let's say I want to add 14 division and click the apply. It bridge. That's why we call that as bridge tool. Now you see the handle is so very thick. So how we can adjust that using taper. Okay. Uh, yeah. Just change the value of taper 0 0.2, 0 0.1. It's up to you. And close. yes, the our base model have a handle. So you can, or you will encounter a problem. I'm sure if you do this, you will also encounter a problem because if you move this, you see it having a deform or deformation. So what's the solution for this? We need to delete the history because all of the procedure, all of the steps that we make is that procedure is registering into the history. Just like this into attribute editor, all of the movement we perform, it register here into editor. So we must delete all of this history. So how? Okay, just click the object, go to edit, delete all by type, and delete history. And the problem is not uh, appearing. So just delete the history. And yeah, so we created a 3D model of coffee mug. So it's up to you if you want to change the color. Uh, so for example, if you still remember how we can change the specific color, just click, hold right click, assign new material, and if you want to make it more glossy effect, just click Pong-E or standard surface. And you can see, you can change the color blue. It's up to you. Okay, and for the light, just activate the use all light and then create, go to lights, point light, and yeah, here you go. So once again, thank you for watching. I hope that you learned in our uh, 3D modeling lesson using Autodesk Maya. See you in another seminar.